sense of authority by having a digital image of a building or place, and maybe that puts a standpoint for the business to have some kind of meaning.
I think it's also like important to remember that the physicality of a building and the model of a building and all the architectural analog processes we go through are images anyway. We touch a model, it's a sensory image. We look at a model, it's still just our eyes acting as a camera. So I think that like in the end there's like really no kind of anti kind of digital logic to apply unless you want to consider that making a model in the first place is also kind of anti-architecture. Alex. I saw Eden with the mic.
I do have the mic.
Go for it.
Could I ask for your guys' thoughts in relation to, say, Second Life or the Iron Man thing? Could you speculate on how that might change social relations in terms of how people? Is this going to be a new way that people are going to relate to each other? You know, because we saw the Iron Man thing and it was funny, but beyond that, what might happen?
So are you like wondering about the social significance of having a layering of information over reality? Is that what you mean? Like, what's the significance of layering the digital information on a seemingly physical object? Is that what you mean? Yeah,
that. And also, how would that change how people interact, how people see each other?
Well, yeah, I guess...
If at all.
Like how it would, in a spatial capacity or just social. Yeah, I mean, it could change it all. Like, I think... I think... Like, when we're trying to say what the augmented image or the digital image is, it's really a layering of information, and it gives real potential for getting an understanding out of something you may look at or glance over in your everyday life, and get a new perspective on what's happening within. So perhaps having a facade that interacts with the people around them in an augmented reality, perhaps, I know people will get a new understanding of the building or program within, and then have a different relationship to that program when passing it through the street. Maybe it will become a meeting point for people in the city where they can, maybe program in the surrounding context will change in relationship to that kind of interaction with a media facade or something like that. That could be a potential, but I'm sure Matt has something else.
Oh, let's take it over to Jess. That sounds good.
I think in a social context, maybe...
Take it out.
I think in a social context, there's this idea of immersing yourself in a world, so you're kind of creating an identity, which isn't actually what you are or what you want to be perceived as. You could change this, and it's kind of a new way of understanding yourself even. You can create a different life. And what we kind of looked into was how our interaction, how far is this interacting with this technology? Are we actually immersed within it? Are we actually, like, by moving this mouse, are we actually becoming what is on the screen, kind of understanding? But yeah.
I think it's important to understand the relationship between all this technology and clothing. Because with the digital revolution and the invention of the internet and mobile phones, the fact that you can't hide anymore, that your life is becoming online with Facebook, the idea of augmented reality and that you now therefore become an avatar to people looking in this information sphere, is that you now have the possibility to lie about who you are or reveal yourself. So just like clothing, you can show as much skin as you want. I think it's giving people more control again. Well, why would I? Like, I mean, why? I may have a Facebook. I'll make a Facebook for... What the fuck, man?
I'm sure you could... I'm sure you could... people have lied for centuries about who they are, whether or not they're secretly having affairs or God knows what.
Information sphere, right? There is no social benefit for lying about who you are. You're either not there or you're there. If you lie about who you are in this kind of context... You want a bag? Okay.
I think we're digressing. I think what you're trying to say is why now, why with digital medium, and I think it's just a new medium of re-representing yourself, because in our society, in our day and age, that's such a significant part of socialising, and for us that's a new way to lie and to have a new reality, whether it's, I'm sure, 20 years ago people would go to uni with a new haircut and pretend that they're the cool kid from school or whatever, and they express themselves through visual image. But because we've got such a significance on our virtual selves and our value over the internet, it's just another way that we can lie or re-represent ourselves.
Yeah, it's just an added, I guess it's a new tool to add, I guess, information, or to show information to other people. And in terms of, I just want to go back to Eden's question in terms of like the, I guess, social effects of it. I think, like I said, it's just a new tool for giving information to other people, and it's not necessarily bad or good. I think we have to sort of like, it has massive implications in terms of, I guess, social and how we interact with each other. But I think, it's a new way of interacting with each other. It's a new way of giving information to people, and it's not good or bad. Like Matt said, there's no anti about it. It's just a new way that I think we can't ignore because of the influx of new technology that we have in our society today.
I think another way we can evolve with this technology is if we abuse the technology. If we become too dependent on letting the webcam, for example, take, say you take complete truth of what that webcam is showing you, and if you abuse that webcam, if you can able to control the image of what that webcam is showing you, like when I showed the image fulguration, if you sort of abuse the visual technology, I think it just adds another whole, another level which we can explore, and I think that's a good idea to do.
Yeah.
This is a question from Matt.
Oh, okay, go me. I hope I don't yell at you like I did Cameron.
What do you see? Sorry. What do you see as the value in productively incorporating the error into built form?
Well, considering that we're human, we have a cultural kind of representation of what we want, what we understand, and what we're aiming for. And then I find things quite interesting when things go wrong, when things aren't doing what you want. But considering that the computer program does X and I want Y and it produces Z, then that doesn't mean that Z is not a valid response. It's just that I'm perceiving it as an error because it's not exactly what I want. It opens up possibilities. It opens up ideas between us and the computer screen and the computer system. It lets us do things that we never would have thought of.
So you deliberately would incorporate that into a design?
I would deliberately incorporate that